If you're a Doritos fan like millions of people around the world, this might surprise you. Every single year, thousands of tons of Doritos are consumed globally, and meeting that kind of demand is no small task. Before we go further, if you enjoy discovering how famous snacks are made, make sure to subscribe, because we regularly take you inside real factories and production lines. To keep up with this massive appetite, giant harvesting machines are used to collect enormous amounts of corn. But the real mystery is this: how are nearly 70,000 bags of Doritos produced every single day? To find out, we visited the Frito-Lay factory to uncover how one of the world's most popular snacks comes to life. The story of Doritos began back in the 1960s with Ark West, a marketing executive at Frito-Lay. While visiting a small restaurant in San Diego, California, he noticed crispy corn tortillas that were often left unused because they were broken or didn't meet selling standards. Instead of letting them go to waste, he had an idea: cut them into triangles, fry them until golden, and coat them with bold seasoning. That simple idea led to the creation of the very first Doritos. The name Dorito comes from the Spanish word dorado, meaning little pieces of gold. By 1988, Doritos had become the best-selling chips in the world, a position they still hold today, with more than 10 different flavors enjoyed worldwide. Unlike traditional potato chips, Doritos are made primarily from corn flour. The process begins in the fields, where corn is carefully harvested from the plants to ensure quality without causing damage before it reaches the production stage. Once harvested, the facility can handle up to 140 tons of corn per day, ensuring a constant and reliable supply for production. The corn is cut just above ground level, collected, and then transported directly to the factory. Before processing begins, the supplier carefully cleans and dries the grains. This is done using advanced vibrating machines that remove dust, stones, sand, and other unwanted materials. At the same time, the moisture level of the corn is adjusted to around 14%, which is a critical requirement for the production process. After preparation, the corn is sent to the Nacho factory, which receives approximately 45,000 kilograms of corn every day. The dried kernels are transferred from large storage silos into processing vessels, where they are cooked in water to prepare them for further production. This large-scale operation results in an annual output of more than 6.5 million kilograms of finished products. The Frito-Lay factory is recognized as one of the largest chip manufacturing facilities in the world, capable of producing over 100,000 packs of nachos daily, which are then distributed to markets worldwide. Inside the factory, production is divided into 4 main sections. One of these areas is dedicated entirely to creating tortilla-based products, including Doritos, where the process truly begins. The facility also includes a massive distribution center covering 65,000 square meters. With this setup, the factory can produce between 70,000 and 100,000 bags of Doritos every single day, adding up to nearly 18 million bags each year. As soon as you arrive, one of the first things you notice are 2 enormous silos, each capable of holding 120 tons of corn. From the grain stored in these silos alone, the factory can produce roughly 20,000 kilograms of Doritos, marking the very first stage of the production journey. Before the corn can move forward, it must be cooked. The process begins in large kettles where the corn is heated to just below boiling point. After this, it is transferred into open soaking tanks, where it remains for nearly half a day. Each cooking vessel holds around 300 kilograms of corn, mixed with 90 liters of water. The corn is cooked at approximately 93 gross for 4 minutes, then left to soak for about 12 hours. Following this initial cooking stage, the corn is moved into even larger tanks and left overnight, allowing the grains to soften fully. This soaking step is essential, as it allows the corn to absorb moisture and makes it easier to remove the outer husk, preparing the grains for the next phase of Doritos production. Once the soaking process is complete, the outer husk of the corn is filtered out, leaving behind only soft, fully hydrated kernels. When the moisture level reaches around 45%, the husks become loose enough to be removed effortlessly. Next, a pumping system transfers the softened corn to a washing unit where the remaining husks are separated completely. From there, the clean corn travels along a conveyor belt, from the washing drum straight to the milling section. Inside the mill, powerful rotating stones grind the corn into a smooth dough. The kernels are crushed between 2 millstones, transforming them into a soft, workable corn mixture. During this process, water is gradually added to achieve the perfect consistency for shaping. The freshly prepared dough is then carefully inspected for 3 key factors: moisture level, temperature, and texture, to ensure it meets strict quality standards. Once approved, the dough exits the mill through a narrow nozzle, forming a thin sheet. This sheet passes through 2 metal rollers that flatten and shape it into a long ribbon. Finally, a third roller fitted with triangular cutters slices the ribbon into perfectly shaped triangular nacho pieces, giving Doritos their iconic form. The dough continues its journey between the rollers and through the cutter, emerging in the iconic Doritos triangle shape, much like a giant cookie cutter at work. The sharp edges of the roller pierce the dough precisely, producing perfect triangular chips every time. This incredible machine can cut 6,000 chips per minute, which adds up to over 8 million chips every single day. Once cut, the Doritos move along a conveyor belt to the next stage, baking in the oven. Even though the process looks seamless, any leftover dough isn't wasted. Instead, it's recycled and sent back through the system, ensuring nothing goes to waste. Now comes the toasting stage. The triangular chips enter a specialized industrial oven heated to an intense 340 darklies, spanning 3 levels. They spend just a few seconds inside, achieving the perfect crisp texture without drying out. This process also creates the signature bubbles on each chip, giving Doritos their unique crunch. The high heat baking seals in moisture while forming these tiny pockets, which are part of what makes Doritos so irresistible. This step is essential for giving Doritos their iconic crunch. Although each chip spends only about 16 seconds in the oven, it's enough to dry the dough just right so that it stays intact when handled. The intense heat also creates tiny pockets of moisture within the chip, resulting in the signature irregular texture that Doritos are famous for. After baking, the chips are allowed to cool briefly on a series of conveyor belts. This short pause not only stabilizes their texture, but also gives quality inspectors a chance to check that none of the triangles got overcooked or burned in the oven. Next, the chips are transported on a mesh conveyor belt to the fryer, where the oil is maintained at a precise 182 train-crus. Here, each Dorito only needs about 55 seconds to reach the perfect golden color and crispy texture. The bubbles you see on each finished chip are actually tiny air pockets trapped during frying, giving Doritos that distinctive crunch. Once fried, the chips move along a vibrating conveyor belt, which removes excess oil and returns it to the fryer, keeping the process efficient and consistent. Now it's time for the final flavor magic. The freshly fried Doritos are transported to a massive rotating drum, where they're mixed with the perfect blend of spices and ingredients. At this station, a screw auger dispenses the nacho seasoning into the drum. Large bags containing a secret combination of cheddar, parmesan, and a variety of spices are poured into the top of the machine, funneling the mix evenly over the chips. The seasoning includes a carefully balanced mix of cheeses, spices, flavor enhancers like MSG, and preservatives to help extend shelf life. To make sure every chip is perfectly coated, nozzles spray canola oil onto the Doritos, increasing surface stickiness so the seasoning adheres evenly. Inside the drum, the delicate chips gently tumble against each other, acting as buffers to prevent breakage, while the seasoning is distributed thoroughly. Once coated, the Doritos continue along a 30-meter-long conveyor belt to cool completely before moving to the packaging stage. With an annual value of around $4 billion, Doritos are one of the world's most in-demand snacks, and every step from frying to seasoning to cooling is carefully managed to maintain quality and consistency. The seasoned Doritos are then funneled into various packaging machines via hoppers, kicking off a carefully orchestrated technical ballet. Each machine is equipped with 14 cube-shaped scales, ensuring precise measurement for every bag. As the chips drop onto the scales, a series of spoons counts and weighs them until the perfect amount is reached. Once the target weight is met, a trap door releases the Doritos, letting them fall straight into a freshly formed bag. Simultaneously, the machine shapes an aluminum plastic pouch, ready to receive the chips. The bag is then heat-sealed at the top, while the bottom of the next bag is sealed at the same time, creating a continuous, seamless process. To keep the Doritos fresh, nitrogen is introduced into each bag, displacing oxygen and preventing spoilage. This airtight seal ensures that every chip retains its crunch, flavor, and freshness until it reaches your hands. From the fields to the factory floor, to frying, seasoning, and packaging, the journey of a Dorito is a perfect blend of precision, technology, and craftsmanship. And if you want to see more behind-the-scenes factory production videos like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel. You never know what amazing process we'll uncover next.